Hello everyone, this is Summer with another video on Evony. Today we're going to take a closer look at General's specialties. The main questions are what to focus on and how to get the most value out of them. So let's get right into it. So what's a specialty? Historic Generals have specialties and they unlock at level 25. Epic Historic Generals have 4 specialties and purple ones have 3. Each offers certain buffs or debuffs. You need to spend runestones and gems to reach these 5 levels and increase the buff values. The 4th specialty is locked until you maximize the first 3. At that point, it automatically goes to level 1. Runestones are the main requirement and bottleneck here. They're not super easy to get. You can get 10 of these runestone chests in the last daily activity rewards. They're also in different event rewards. Other than that, the two main ways to get them are basically coining and PvP. Battlefields are one of the main ways to get them, but server war rewards chests also include runestones. You can get 24 chests also every time you win PvP encounters that activate Glory of Warrior. This happens in battles and SVS when both sides lose more than 30 million in power and has a daily cap at 15 times. We also have these lucky stones that are really helpful, as I will show you later. You can combine them with rune stones when you are increasing the experience here, and they give you an increasing chance of a double drop when you hit this button. PvP wins in battles or server war are the only way to get them, and this requires more than a 35 million power loss on both sides, and you can get a maximum of 30 stones in a day. So in a typical active month with 8 battles and 2 server wars, the maximum you can get is 420. So you need to be strategic in spending your runestones. Which generals do you want to spend them on? Well, of course, this depends on your overall priorities for buffs and debuffs, and this is my suggestion. So your main lead and assistant PvP generals are the number one priority. Then mayors, but only the specialties that give debuffs. Then for duty generals, most of the specialties are not effective at all, so you don't want to waste any runestones there. Only specialties work that explicitly mention that it is applied to a duty officer. And the only ones that are worth it are for the rally spot officer that increases your march size and maybe also the archer tower. The rest are mainly training speed, healing speed, and things like that, which aren't really worth it. And at the bottom, you have the development generals. If you are a monster hunter, well, that is important. But if not, you can focus on double drop and monster debuffs for your rally joiners. For more on this, you can check out my video on rally joining. Okay, so now how can we maximize what we get out of the runestone chests? And this is what the lucky stones are for. Let's have a look at the cost for maximizing one specialty. In total, you need 12,700 runestones of that type if you don't use any lucky stones. Also note that you can use many more runestones in one click at higher levels, and your lucky stones apply each time that you click. So you want to use them at the highest level only so that the double drop you get saves you more runestones. The next question is how many lucky stones should you use each time? Here you can visually see how big a difference it makes if you go from 0 lucky stones to 10 at different levels. Here you can see how many rune stones you are saving per lucky stone that you use. And these are expected numbers because it is always just a chance. But it is obvious that you want to use all 10 each time if you have enough lucky stones. The maximum savings you can expect to get is about 4,200 runestones and 84,000 gems. But as I mentioned, lucky stones are not super easy to get. You need about 530 lucky stones for these savings. So, as a free to play player, for several months I monitored my own inventories to plan based on these limits. After all that, my conclusion was that it's best to be patient and only use my rune stones when I can use 10 or at least 9 lucky stones with them. And the last point is that you want to use the lucky stones only on the fourth specialty. The reason is that chances of getting the stones for specialty 4 are way lower than the others, as you can see here. This means to maximize specialty 1, you need around 40,000 chests, but for specialty 4, you need 3 times as many, around 116,000 chests. Using lucky stones the way I just showed you on that fourth specialty can reduce this by more than 35,000 chests. So to summarize, the best strategy is to avoid using any lucky stones on specialties 1, 2, and 3. Also, no lucky stones on levels 2 to 4 for the last specialty. Then on the last stage of the last specialty, you should always use the maximum number of lucky stones. Now, a final note about flexible specialties. After you maximize the first 3 specialties, you can add a flexible specialty to a general. There are different types of them, but currently battle tested is the only one you can get without paying, and it's in server war rewards. You can compose 10 fragments to get one, and then you can improve it in 2 ways. Promotion affects quality and caps. Upgrading affects levels. And the quality, which is the stars or the color, increases by promotion, which requires more fragments. This gives you more flat attack buffs for all troops. It also increases the cap level you can upgrade it to. Upgrading uses the first 3 types of runestones at lower levels, but at the higher levels it also uses the 4th type, so it becomes quite expensive, but it can give you very nice buffs and debuffs. You want to use these flexible specialties on your main and assistant PvP generals. I suggest you save up the rest to use for upgrading your equipment. And you can check out the video up here for more information about that. So that would be it for specialties. Hopefully this was useful. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment if there's anything you want me to consider for the next videos.